Franz Stangl, the former commandant of Sobibór and Treblinka, told author Gita Sereni in 1970 that the idea of burning corpses on railway grids came from Paul Blöbel, although another theory has it that this was the idea of Herbert Floss, an SS guard at both Sobibór and Treblinka, nicknamed Tadelos by the inmates, an expression he used once a pyre with human corpses got going. The expression means perfect in German, or immaculate. Jankiel Wiernik was a prisoner in Treblinka who managed to escape during the uprising there in August 1943. Whilst hiding in occupied Warsaw, he wrote his memoirs of life in the camp called Rok w Treblince, a year in Treblinka. The book was printed and distributed by the underground press in Warsaw in 1944. At the Eichmann trial in 1961, he testified, "Until the end of 1942, they did not burn those who had been gassed, but they would bury them in enormous pits. The bodies were placed inside. Only at the beginning of 1943 did they make various experiments of how to burn them, and they did not succeed. Then a certain Scharführer arrived, an SS man, and he brought his model for the grids, and he always used to stand near the fire and shout, 'Tadelos, Tadelos.'" Here's an excerpt from A Year in Treblinka, where he is talking about the destruction of the bodies. "A fire grate made of railroad tracks was placed on concrete foundations 100 to 150 metres in length. The workers piled the corpses on the grate and set them on fire. I'm no longer a young man, and I've seen a great deal in my lifetime, but not even Lucifer could possibly have created a hell worse than this. Can you picture a grate of this length piled high with 3,000 corpses of people who'd been alive only a short time before? As you look at their faces, it seems as if any moment these bodies might awaken from their deep sleep. If you stood close enough, you could well imagine hearing moans from the lips of the sleeping bodies, children sitting up and crying for their mothers. The gangsters are standing near the ashes, shaking with satanic laughter. Their faces radiate a truly satanic satisfaction. They toasted the scene with vodka and with the choicest liqueurs, ate, caroused, and had a great time warming themselves by the fire. In one instance, when a batch of corpses was placed on the fire grate, an uplifted arm stuck out. 4 fingers were clenched into a tight fist, except for the index finger, which had stiffened and pointed rigidly skyward as if calling God's judgment down upon the hangman. It was only a coincidence, but it was enough to unnerve all those who saw it. Even our tormentors paled and could not turn their eyes from that ghastly sight. It was as if some higher power had been at work. That arm remained pointed upward for a long, long time. Long after part of the pyre had turned to ashes, the uplifted arm was still there, calling to the heavens above for retributive justice. This small incident, seeming meaningless, spoiled the high good humour of the hangman, at least for a while. There were no orders for railway grids. The SS came by them by other means. Thomas Blatt, escapee from Sobibór, told me how the SS took a group of prisoners out one night with the aim of stealing railway rails that had been stacked next to the line when work was underway on that section of track.